Hi everybody, my name is Ben Plickard and I want to take you on a journey of me replacing my natural lenses with a premium lens replacement. And this is often done if you have cataracts. And it is the same surgery as cataract surgery, where they take your frosted over natural lens and they take that out and put a regular lens in. I chose to have premium lenses put in. I did not have cataracts, but your experience will be very, very similar all the way around. So I hope that you enjoy this video. I hope that it will put your mind at ease. I hope that you will learn quite a bit of things. You will learn about the complications thereof, what's called second cataracts, also known as when you have PCO, when you have to have the YAG laser done. I'm going to share all of those experiences with you, the pros, the cons, day by day. The video is long, so feel free to skip ahead. You can go to different days, different sections, and kind of know what you're going to be experiencing day by day. When I was looking for videos online, I watched hours and hours and hours of video, and I was never able to find a video like what I'm making for you today. So I hope that you enjoy it. Always make sure to send me messages, like this video, please subscribe. That it always helps me grow my channel. I don't do this to make money. I do this to help other people, and I really am. I try very hard to make sure I respond to everybody and questions. I am not a doctor by any means, but I do a lot of research on everything I do prior to me doing it, and I hope that this video helps you. Hey everybody, I'm Ben, and I want to share with you my journey through getting my natural lenses changed out to artificial premium lenses. I'm tired of constantly having to deal with the contacts, and now it's getting to the point where I'm having a hard time seeing. I'm having to put things farther away, and ultimately I need reading glasses. And I had to look at it as just like, I went in and looked to see, like, can I do LASIK? And come to find out, it's like I can do LASIK, but one eye would be basically like be a monovision. One eye would be far away, the other one would be close up. I can't tolerate that. It will not work for me. And so then they said, well, like half the people that come in that are over the age of 40, they actually opt to do premium lens replacement. And I'm like, what is that? And so I basically scheduled surgery for right then and there. I've been very hesitant, as you'll hear later in this video about why I've been hesitant. But I want to kind of make a progress video per se of my journey and what led me to choose what lens and things like that. But today is officially 2 weeks until my lens replacement surgery, and I'm excited and I'm nervous. So I'll make sure to fill you in as we get closer. So it's Monday night. I have surgery on Wednesday, which is getting here sooner than I think I'm ready for. Just to give you a little idea of what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling right now. Pretty confident. I did spend quite a bit of time last week going through some different scenarios online with a site that you can kind of compare what your vision's going to be with based upon what type of lens you put in your eye. So I think I'm pretty confident that I'm going to go with the Pan-optix in my non-dominant and a Vivity lens in my dominant eye. And we're going to kind of see how that goes. I think that if I were to put a Pan-optix in my dominant eye, I think the halos are going to bother me too much. But that's okay. The number one thing I'm not worried about is the decreased light that's going to come into my eye. I've read that doesn't really matter so much and people don't notice it very much. But I mean, I always think that things are too bright anyway, and I constantly have to like turn down lights when I go into rooms. When I'm outside in the sun, I constantly have to put my sunglasses on. So part of me is actually kind of excited about that part. I think the thing that scares me right now of anything, I think there's two things. One, my PanOptix lens, are people going to get freaked out when they see a reflection in the eye? I kind of get nervous that that is a possibility. You know, the cyborg, the android look that I've read, looked at. The other thing is, I think of all the things that I'm scared about, is my vision changing. Um, I've read that if your pupils are, they're wide, dilated a lot, that sometimes people can see an outside edge of that lens. I mean, when I talked to the ophthalmologist, that they basically were like, yeah, that can happen. It's not really that you're seeing the lens, you're kind of seeing the absence of the lens. And it's kind of one of those things that you don't concentrate on it. It just kind of goes away. You don't think about it very much. I really don't know what, I guess what that will entail. Kind of interested to see that, but I'm also kind of thinking to myself, it's like, that's a permanent thing. I mean, it's if I don't like the way that it is, it literally will be there the rest of my life. It's not like I can just have him put my other lens back in. So that I think is one of the things that's got me pretty nervous, to be honest. And I hope that this video will help you and maybe make some fears go away or make them come out. I guess I want you to be aware of everything. So Wednesday morning at 9:15, I have my surgery in Elkhart. My surgery is going to cost right around $9,000, about $4,500 per eye. And I'm going to get it done at Bowling Vision Center. So Dr. Megan Heil is the one that's actually going to be performing it. So I'm really excited. I'm hoping that I can get a lot of footage of my process and how it's going to go and things like that. So stay tuned on the journey with me. So we got a little bit less than 12 hours into my surgery, and this is my last time of ever taking out contacts in my life, hopefully. That is right eye. I'm even putting it back in my case. I don't know why I'm putting it back in my case, but I'm putting it back in my case. And here is eye number 2 for my contacts going out. Am I still nervous? Yes, still nervous, but my contacts are out. Okay, so this is what my eye looks like. And that's my left eye. And this one is my right eye. See what it looks like here. You can take some photos of that too. That's my right eye. So this is going to be the trifocal lens, and this is going to be the Vivity, the lens on that eye. So it's going to be exciting. So today I'm at Bowling Vision Center, and I've got my surgery in about 15 minutes. Eyes are dilating with those drops. You can see that they're getting bigger for sure. And about to meet with the doctor and to go over it and everything and make sure I understand what's going to happen next.
Perfect. I'm going to put a little sticker above that right eye. Dr. Heil will sign off on that, just indicating that the eye will.
First one's done. When I compare my arms and my
both. Boy, I'm not thinking straight. But it looks to be pretty decent. If I close my left eye, my right eye can't see anything because obviously I was blind in that eye. My left eye, I can actually start to see some things. And I'm looking around and I'm not seeing like a lens aside, so that's really, really good. So that's where I'm at now. I'll have to watch this video myself because I don't remember what I'm saying. Got my one eye done, got the other eye to do. Starting to look around and see stuff now, and my left eye definitely I can see pretty good. Distance up close is about what it was when I didn't have contacts in, maybe a little bit worse. My left eye seems to be like purple-ish, hueish color. My right eye is obviously normal, so I guess we're gonna see what happens next. I don't know, kind of loopy, so all these machines. It what? Feels toasty.
A little bit.
I don't know why, but and both eyes are done. Got these glasses on here because everything's super bright. I'm coming out now. There's some things across here. They don't look. They're not even, for one. I don't think they're supposed to be. There's like 1.5 fire alarm, and the biohazard. There's like 2 biohazard signs. When I look across here, there's 2 of each one of them. The color is there's a little bit of a color difference between the two. You know, like if I both of these colors together, I mean, this one, the left eye looks like normal. The right one is a little bit more purple-ish, but when I look around, I'm not seeing any lens. So other than that, kind of loopy still, and had a granola bar and whatever this is. It's 12 o'clock, and my beautiful wife is driving me home. I feel, yeah, when they got me up out of the chair, definitely very loopy, can't walk very good, and everything is really bright outside. I've got some of these great looking glasses, but I can read some things far away. Some things I can't. I mean, I can definitely tell that there's like a flag over there, and I can kind of see like the now hiring sign, but that's it. I mean, up close I can kind of, yeah, and I guess I can kind of see that it's counting down. I can see how many seconds it's been on the video up above. You can't see that obviously, but it's like 46, 47 seconds, so that hopefully is a good sign. So more updates to come. So out of both eyes I can read that sign there, but yeah, but combined there's 2 of them.
Oh.
And there's 4 stoplights over here. She says that'll take a couple hours to
Well, just relax your eyes.
get normal.
Don't spend a lot of time, you know,
Really
fighting
weird.
with them.
I can read Napanee straight, and 4 red lights, so yeah. So driving home, and what do I feel right now? My eyes do not hurt. I did ask for another numbing drops before I left. I read about that. Some other people told me that made a world of a difference. I then, yeah, kind of feel that, like I was mentioning a little bit ago, when I close my eyes, it almost kind of looks like there's a little bit of, like, when I look at bright light, it almost looks like there's like little blood, like, rolling around. I don't think that's what it is, but that's kind of what it feels like. Well, it's what, 12, what time is it?
12:13.
12:13, and I think we're kind of yeah, right now everything that I look up, I look at stoplights, and I'm seeing 2 stoplights of everything. And they said that that was going to be that way for a while, and they said after I probably wake up from a nap, that should start to go away. So yeah. So I'm about 2 hours post-op, and just laying down in bed. And right now, when on the way home, I was kind of in and out of it the whole way. But I would see like 2 telephone poles, or when there was just one, I would see like 4 stoplights when there was 2. Lots of weird things, and by the time I got home, I was only seeing 1 telephone pole and 1 stoplight. So that was a much better experience. Now, everything is cloudy and blurry. Just kind of looks like that. I don't know. And there's like around bright lights, because my eyes are still dilated. It's kind of almost like a rainbow effect, I guess. That's kind of near the bright lights, but I think that's going to dissipate. Okay, so what have I noticed? We're about 4.5 hours or so post surgery. Everything is still kind of like foggy. I will notice the top portion of my eyes, I guess my vision, is less cloudy than the sides. The sides of it are cloudy. Looking out the window, super bright. I think that's because my eyes are dilated still. I'm gonna try to see if I can see that, but I don't know. I can kind of sometimes see, if I put on my reading glasses, I can kind of see my phone, but not super great. So that's kind of one of the things that I'm. It's kind of hard to see my phone. Let's put it that way. So I'm hoping that kind of clears up little by little. I know from when I first put on my readers about 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, looked at my phone a couple times, and compared to now when I put on my readers, I can see a lot better. And in fact, I can see a lot of the buttons on my phone now than when I could just a little while ago. So I would imagine probably when I wake up in the morning, it'll be a lot different. So now I'm on about hour 8 or so since my surgery. Kind of outside for the first time without the, I guess, sunglasses that they give you. But I mean, it's still pretty bright out here. I kind of wanted to come outside to see how well my vision was, to see how far away I could see. Obviously in the video you can see that crystal clear. And I would say that my vision far away is, I don't know, maybe right around, about 90% of what I could see before. As far as distance goes, it might be a little bit more than that, but I'm kind of trying to give you an idea of what to expect. My vision here is the same pretty much as it was. The difference is I'd say like this is about what it was before, with my contacts in. If I come out to here, I'd say it's actually about here before it's kind of clear, but it's not even really super clear at this level. So I would venture to believe that I'm probably at, looking at this post over here, I'm betting I'm probably about 3 feet or so for good vision. So obviously my brain has not fixed some other things yet, and my eyes have not healed well enough yet for the other. But I'm kind of starting to feel like every hour I'm seeing a little bit better. The only way I can kind of even remotely see my phone right now is if I were to like put reading glasses on and kind of keep them at the edge of my nose, kind of like, and then I can kind of see like my phone is, I would say, blurry like 50% or so, and I used to be able to have no contacts out and see my phone perfectly. And with contacts in, I'd have to keep my phone, I don't know, maybe about this far away from me or so before I could see it. But the problem is it was getting to the point where I was having to take the phone further and further and further away, and I was having to turn the brightness up further and further and further. So regardless, there I'm kind of I guess at a
point that I don't even recognize the difference right now. But right now it's kind of frustrating because I can't see my phone, and I've got like 2,500 messages, it feels like, on my phone, and people are like, are you gonna respond, are you gonna respond? And I'm like, I can't even read what you're saying. So my wife has been messaging me, or interpreting some of the messages for me today. But regardless, nobody thinks I'm dead yet anyway, but because I haven't responded. But anyway, so that's the update. Now I will say that I was worried that it was going to be dimmer. I thought everything was going to be dimmer, because the PanOptix let less light through. It lets 89% light through, and then the other one is 92%. And reality is they still hurt. So it's still bright, but that's because my eyes are still dilated really bad. Now, the only thing I'm going to comment on is there has been a couple times when I was eating dinner tonight that this eye, the Vivity lens, is like, it seems like if I like move to the left or to the right a little bit, it seems like this lens has not wanted to catch up. Or my eye hasn't wanted to catch up to where I was moving, and it kind of felt like there was a little like shake or something. I guess I don't even know how to describe it, but it was just like a little, I don't know, some like digital shake. I guess that'd be the best way to describe it. But anyway, I don't know. I'm kind of trying to make sure that I tell you my experiences and what I have seen, and hopefully it kind of helps you kind of know what to expect. Oh, see, right then and there, it just did it a little bit there. I was just moved a little bit, and it kind of just flickered a little bit. So yeah, it just did it again. Yeah, okay, so I've noticed it's if I look left and right, and it looks like both of them are doing that just a little bit. So I don't know if that's something that's gonna happen all the time. I did read that, I think I talked to somebody right after surgery, and they said that they kind of felt a little flickering, noticed a flickering or so. But when I asked that person the next day, they didn't experience that anymore. So I'm kind of thinking that's something that won't be there anymore. So anyway, that's the update at hour 8. Well, it's now almost 12 hours since my eye surgery. I've got my plastic covers on my eyes for the next sleep in. I taped it up really good because I didn't want it to fall off. I move a lot in my sleep, so hopefully that'll stay on there and keep me from touching my eyes for the next three nights. What fun. I had a good sleep last night. It's been exactly 24 hours since both of my surgeries now. I am, I don't know what to think yet. I woke up and I was able to see the ceiling fan after I took off my shades, obviously. I've never really been able to do that because I wore contacts and or glasses my whole life, and I always had to put those in, but that was a good feeling. I am able to see my phone a lot better now than I was last night, for sure. Reading glasses still help with that. I got my dog here. Hi Cody puppy. Anyway, so I was doing that. I mean, that's been pretty good. I am a little disappointed, I guess, in the fact when I kind of go left and right, it kind of feels like it's jiggery. I don't even know what a word would be. Jittery. It kind of feels that way sometimes. I don't know if that's a temporary thing, if that's a permanent thing, but I guess that's what it kind of feels like. The sun is still extremely bright. Honestly, I was kind of hoping that would decrease a little bit, and maybe it's just my eyes are just still really super sensitive, and it is a really bright day. But I was kind of hoping that would kind of tone it down a little bit, and maybe it will. But right now, it's like, yeah. I did take my first shower, kind of had a towel over my face, so I didn't get water in my eyes. And I did notice a lot of eye boogers, so to speak, this morning when I woke up. But the blurriness is starting to go down. I'm not seeing that. I'm kind of still seeing that around some light. I don't know if blurriness is the right word, and star field formations is not the right word. It's kind of like strips of light. And that seems to be kind of going down a little bit, but it's still kind of, yeah. I guess I don't like it, but it's also only been 24 hours, so I can be patient on this. So it's to the point where I could almost do my job, regular job every day now, and I guess that's what's important. I'm not going to the office because I don't want to concentrate on paperwork and stuff like that I might not be able to necessarily concentrate on. And I've got a big meeting tomorrow, so I'm going to do that tomorrow instead.
But I get ready to go to my eye appointment. I've got that at 12:30 today, so that'll be like 26 hours after my surgery. So I'll be curious to see what she has to say and kind of go from there. So I am eager to learn more and to know what to expect out of this. So far, I mean, the vision distance-wise, I'm pretty satisfied with. It might be a touch less than what I had before, but not by much. And so that may still improve as well. So I'll keep you updated on the rest of the progress today. This is Bowling Vision Center's Goshen location, and that's where I'm at today for a follow-up appointment. So I just met with one of the entry people, not the doctor, and they said the pressure in both eyes are the exact same. My vision was not as good on the other, but I'm going to get more of the results next. But the pressure of both eyes was the same before I had the surgery, so that's good. Brighter here. Okay, I am now home. Been home from the eye doctor for about, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours. I thought I'd give you a recap on everything that they said. You saw that the pressure was good, and so I'm excited about that. That means that things are healthy and things are good on that aspect. They looked at my lenses. You know, they actually opened it up, or not looked at them, whatever it is. I don't want to say microscope because that's not what it is, whatever their scopes are. And they said that it's positioned correctly and it hasn't moved, and it's, they said it's crystal clear. And, you know, because some of the videos I've watched is there's people that they will, they'll get damaged from sometimes going in. It's pretty rare, but I've read that can be done. So I feel really good about that aspect. I told her I am at 20/20 for distance and for up close. So that is excellent. But I can tell you that I'm usually probably at a 20/15 on most things. And they were beyond impressed that I could see as well. They said it's probably because of my age and how well I've healed, how quickly I've healed. Even since I left this morning, since my video several hours ago, because it's like 3 o'clock now, and my first video I did, whatever was it, like 10 o'clock, I think it was, something like that, today. And even since then, it's much better. It's really bright outside, so I'm kind of squinting, but I've actually came outside to see how good my eyes are and if it's improving. And I would say since this morning I was at like 95%. I would definitely say that I'm at probably at least 96%. Maybe for sure. I don't want to say that I'm at 100 because that's definitely not it, and nor do I anticipate being at like 105%. Although that would be nice, I don't anticipate that happening. So back to what else they said. One of the biggest concerns that I have is like when I look left and right, I said that I can kind of see things and it kind of is like jittery almost. And she said that almost every patient says that, and she says it's just something that your brain just ignores after a little while, but they don't even really know what causes it. They believe it's the incision marks that are on the like where because they do it like a water seal. I don't know how that works. Whatever. It's just amazing technology. And so they think it's where your eye is seeing that little seal that they did. But they said as that heals, that like your brain just you no longer see it, which because obviously you don't see it anymore because there's nothing there. I talked to them about the cloudiness, and they said that that's pretty normal. I like went through the cloudiness, the jitteriness, the distance, you know, that I can't see up close. I mean, like my phone, it's kind of blurry, but not super blurry when I hold it in my hand. I told her that I had some reading glasses, and I can see perfectly clear with the reading glasses. And she said, try not to use those. You need to teach your brain how to do it better, and things like that. So that way there's your brain has an opportunity to really figure out how to use the new lenses. And by having the readers, it's kind of
it's kind of cheating, and it's not teaching your brain how to go about how to make your brain learn better. So I guess that's one of those things that you just kind of have to. She says it's not like you can't do it. It's just like if you really need to read something, then absolutely by far do it. But I do not need to do it, and I can see that is definitely improving. She says just keep using your phone over and over again, and it'll come around. And I'm like, okay, all right, so that's what I'll do, and that's where it is. Everything that I mentioned to her, she says that people always talk about. That's just normal. She anticipates my vision increasing every single day. They usually see it top off at about a 1 week level. So I have an appointment next Thursday at 12 o'clock, and then I'll have another 1 month follow up. So it'll be like 3 weeks later. And then I think it's like, I think after that I don't have anything unless I want to come back and, you know, if I need a touch up or something like that done. So I am pretty excited about the progress on where we are with things right now. I would wish I didn't say as much. As you're watching this video, you're like, okay, Ben, you have said like 75,000 times, but whatever. You can leave me a comment about that if you want to in the video anyway. But I am excited. I feel more optimistic today. When I was driving to the appointment, actually my wife drove. She didn't want me to drive, even though I could drive just fine. There was parking signs and like no parking here, or, you know, like the little fine print ones that you can see as you're driving down the road. I was just like kind of frustrated because I couldn't see those, and she's like, okay, well, and my wife says that her vision's not as good as mine anyway, and so her and I were seeing the signs at the exact same time, so that made me feel good. But I'm always used to having like stealth-like vision and being able to see far away, because I kind of like to see spreadsheets and the people's desktops and things like that from far away, and I kind of rely on that skill set quite a bit on how to go about, you know, like that. So I anticipate that healing and getting better and better. The star field formations that I talked about, like when I went outside and I looked outside on my back porch last night, and all the lights were just like blurry and like Starfield, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even, if I had to drive right now, I don't think I could. But they said that kind of just disappears after a short time. Every day it'll get better and better, because I knew that there would be lenses or Starfield in the trifocal lens, but I didn't anticipate any being on the Vivity lens. So Pan-optix. I had a brain fart for a second. I couldn't remember what I was talking about. Anyway, so that was kind of frustrating. Even this morning when I was watching TV, I noticed that there was like a little like light, and it was like really bothering me. And then when headlights on the way to the office today, there was like a haze around every headlight that was on, and I was just like, oh, this is horrible. I do not want this at all. But yeah, it was pretty yeah, that was kind of discouraging. But on the way home, miraculously, I didn't notice any of that, and I don't know if my brain just literally tuned it out, which is possible, I guess. But anyway, one other thing I want to talk about in this video is the day of the surgery itself. I didn't recap that like at all, and I thought I should probably do that before I forget. But it was one of the most, I've been put under for surgeries, I don't know, 15, 20 times or so in my life. Way too many, way more than what I feel like I should. But for this surgery, but the medicine that they put in to kind of make me like not aware of what was going on was really pretty cool. As the doctor said today, I think she said it's like that's why people like Percocet so much, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, regardless, I didn't know anything about it. It was pretty it like made all of my stress disappear instantly, and then all of a sudden I kind of didn't really care what was going on. They had my eyebrows all taped up, so get wheeled into the room. They're like, they hook me up the IV, and I can usually, you know, you can taste that stuff that's hitting your stuff, that you can kind of taste it hitting your mouth, and then I could kind of feel like the medicine start to kick in just about 2 or 3 minutes after that. But they like tape up my eyebrow, or they kind of like put this little, like, I don't know,
tarp or something like that over there, so it was just my eye. Then they put like they taped up my eyebrows, eyelashes. They taped it so like it was just the eyeball open. I'll see if I can put a video in here of what the actual surgery looks like, but it's kind of the experience itself. There was times where I would hear, okay, look over here, I need you to look at this light or this light. It was the weirdest feeling in my life. In fact, I actually was kind of like rubbing my fingers back and forth on my, like, because I just wanted to make sure it was still real. It kind of felt like I was like in an afterlife, or like, I don't know, I kind of feel like I was no longer on Earth. I guess that would be the best way I could describe it. It was kind of freaky. I've talked to several people that have had this surgery, and they're like, yeah, I didn't remember anything about it. I don't even know what you're talking about. But I'm pretty anal about remembering details, and I was very much attentive to it because I've had so many surgeries and kind of knew what to expect. But during the surgery itself, it was bright lights, and then it was nothingness. But yet there was one time during the surgery when everything went black. And I mean, when I say everything went black, I was just like, I cannot see anything. Did I just lose my vision for the rest of my life? It felt so empty, and I got a little scared there for a little bit. Now, the only reason I didn't really is because I could kind of hear them talking in the background the whole time, so that was reassuring. And then all of a sudden they were like, okay, well, we're done. Look at the light over here, and look over here one more time. And I think I even remember thinking to myself, and maybe I said it out loud, that I don't know what drugs would be like because I've never been on drugs, but it definitely feels like this is what drugs would feel like, because I was just like out of it. So anyway, I don't know if that'll help you. After the surgery, I remember leaving there. They took all the things off. By the time that I distinctly remember wheeling out of the room and getting parked into the waiting room while they waited to do another eye, because they don't do the surgery in the same time. They clean everything. It's all different tools. It's all different everything for each surgery, because they did them back to back for me. There's some places that do them one at a time, and they did this one all at once. So anyway, I'm pretty darn excited about that experience. It was just weird. And I guess that's why I was excited about it. It was just something I've never experienced before. So they waited a few minutes. I think it was about 30 minutes, maybe 35 minutes. I didn't really know. I was kind of messaging on my phone, but I couldn't really freaking see my phone very well. I could with my one eye because it hadn't been done yet. And so I was kind of like zooming in and trying not to pay attention to work stuff. And, it's kind of hard to do when I've got, 75 emails coming in all the time, and this stress thing and that stress thing. But regardless, I was able to kind of concentrate a little bit. And then all of a sudden they were like, okay, Ben, you ready for your next one? And I'm like, I guess. So I get wheeled back, and my IV line had dried up, so they had to kind of like move it around a little bit and kind of get that going. And then as soon as I said, you get it all figured out, and then all of a sudden I don't even remember them responding, because by that point in time, that medicine, it hit me big time. But anyway, I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping that I can show you some up close videos in the next couple days, and kind of continue on with this journey, so to speak. So I'm not gonna probably do another update today. Maybe I will, but probably be tomorrow when I do another update, because today is Thursday. I've got a busy night tonight, and I'm gonna drive for the first time, which I'm not afraid about driving. It's just I am kind of a little nervous about driving at night, because I don't know what to expect after last night, and I wasn't driving. So anyway, I hope you have a great time watching the next section. So today was a busy day, so I didn't get a really good chance to give everyone an update on what happened today and how my eyes were. I was told by my mother-in-law, actually through my wife, that when she had cataract surgery done, she noticed that every morning was worse than the night before, and it just slowly got better over time. And because I was really disappointed this morning, and it wasn't until after I talked to Christy that I'm like, oh, okay, it's not really as bad as I was thinking. Because this morning, when I took my face shields off, eye shields, it was kind of like I could see the texture of the ceiling on the drywall, but not very good. And I thought, well, maybe I just needed some drops. And
I probably put in 30 drops today of the tears, and the optometrist said that I could put as much eye drops in there as possible. I've still been putting the steroid drops in 4 times. I have noticed there's a big difference of how clear it is when I put the teardrops in versus the other. I was also found out that the steroid drops and the antibiotic drops, the reason why they burn is because, I think I told you this in the other video, but the other recap portion, that it was because they're dry, and the more that I take, my teardrops and stuff like that, it will keep those, it won't burn as much. So what could I see today? I couldn't really see as good as I did yesterday until about 6 o'clock tonight, and then everything was pretty good. Distance driving was still kind of and I still see lots of halos around lights from cars. When I look out, there's you can see there's a bunch of like lights down there across my backyard. That's a long story what that is, but that's the Enchanted Forest at Brook Point Resort. So if you want to Google that, you can figure out what that is. But bunch of black lights, and my first night when I came out here on this porch, that was like those tiny little lights. It was like, basically it was like this, like, whole area was just like star fields, and I guess that's the best way to describe it. It was like, oh my gosh, I'll never need fireworks ever again in my life. But now I definitely see the halo effect around each light. My left eye versus my right eye, my PanOptix lens, it kind of looks more like a spider web, and they're bigger. But my left eye, the Vivity lens, is kind of like a circle with almost like, those white dandelions. It almost looks like that, but not as big. It's much smaller. So I don't want to say they're the doubles. Yeah, they're about double the size in the PanOptix than they are in the Vivity. I've not read very many people have those rings in the Vivity lens, so I am hopeful that is just going to be something that's just going to kind of go away with some time. I'm excited about the 1 week mark, that it will continue getting better and better. I can see my phone so much better now. Almost I don't even need to have the my readers. Like tonight, I was just like, I don't need my readers. I can see my phone just fine. So that is. Now I will say that today I used my eyes a lot more with reading and lots of computer screens for the last, because on the day of the surgery I didn't do anything. Day after the surgery I didn't want to work on my phone or my computer much, because I'm just like, I can't do this. But today I was on my laptop, and I had a big power meeting all day today, and I had lots of paperwork, lots of writing, and I tell you what, I needed to keep putting drops in my eyes because they were hurting. There was some times I just had to keep zooming things in because I can't read this. But tonight, as I'm not using my eyes as much, it's been much better. So that's a good thing. I am hopeful that this weekend will be a little bit better. So this is day 3, and so tomorrow will be day 4, and then Sunday will be day 5. So that's the update, and I'll give you an update tomorrow and Sunday.
So today is day 4. Don't you like these stylish glasses? I mean, they are awesome, you have to admit. Now I've just been carrying, these are the ones that I got from Bowling Vision when I had the surgery that you have to wear after you've been dilated and things like that. It's kind of windy today, so I've been kind of just keeping this on since I'm outside and it's kind of bright, to keep some of the dust out of my eyes and things like that. But today is day 4. I don't know if I can get in here easy enough for you to see my eyes, but they are just pretty much just like everything else. There's nothing different really about them. I can look left and I can look right. But my wife says that she can somewhat see a reflection or a starlight or, a twinkle, so to speak. But I don't know. I haven't seen that for myself yet in a mirror, but it's just been too new as well. So where am I with things? Distance, I would say I am like at 98.78%. And in case you didn't know that all statistics are made up on the spot, like 87.7% of them are. So, anyway, I just had to say that. Randomness. Anyway, um, I have noticed that my vision for distance is pretty much perfect. Now, when I look left and right when I'm outside, or when I'm coming in from like out of the shower, or things like that, where I've noticed that my eyes are just not they're dry. I can definitely tell that they're dry. I can start to see a left and a right. Something's just not right about them. So I am pretty confident that that's just still healing. And when it is dry, I can kind of see wherever they made that incision, or they that where that's healing still. I'm not overly worried about that. I did notice today on the way to we had church cleanup today, and on my way there, I noticed that some of the headlights had a little bit of a halo around them, both my left and my right. It was equal. And I know that the PanOptix lens will be worse with that than the Vivity, so I can tell that it's not 100% healed yet. When I was inside in the, when I got up this morning out of the shower and I looked outside and it was really sunny outside, I could kind of see like a little bit of a glow around the bottom of the window, and I could see a maybe a little bit of a fuzz or haze around it. But technically, considering this is day 4, I don't have my follow-up vision until next Thursday, so that'll be the 1 week point for that time. Actually, be 1 week and 1 day. So I'm pretty excited for where my vision is right now, feeling more and more confident I made the right decision as I go along. And you've watched this since the beginning. You can tell that I was not confident in the very beginning, but I was just tired of wearing contacts. And there's trade-offs. I've got a buddy that had this done because he had cataracts, but it's kind of interesting. Yesterday, I had a conversation with the manager at a country club, and he was telling me that, he had researched LASIK and things like that. And I'm like, well, this isn't LASIK. And he didn't know that you could get premium lens replacement. And it's kind of funny that I was thinking, I think it's ILO or IOLs or something like that. And it's crazy because when I have filled out different things like, do you wear contacts or glasses or neither, I kind of remember seeing like a checkbox sometimes for IOLs or whatever that abbreviation is. I can't remember what it is right now. But it's kind of interesting that I didn't know that this existed. I just didn't know that this existed. But I'm excited right now. I am excited to see what it's going to be like tomorrow. I've noticed that after I take my just like teardrops, and today I haven't used nearly as many teardrops as what I did yesterday. So up close, when I got up this morning, I get my phone. I could definitely see out of my eye better than my right eye, which is PanOptix trifocal, versus this one. I'm trying it. When I am outside, my phone is crystal clear all the time. My brain is just adapted to it, and I can just see it great. If I'm inside, I'm struggling with my phone a little bit, and so I'm just going to keep trying with where I am. So that's the update for day 4. Have a great day. Today is day 5, and it's Sunday. Wanted to give you a recap. Today, I actually felt like I went backwards a little bit. Yesterday, I thought my vision was like perfect, but there were some times I was trying to use my computer today, not working very well at all. Now you could almost compare the two to say that, well, perhaps that my computer was the problem on both days, and that is a possibility. Tomorrow at work, I'm not planning on using my PC until the end of the day, so hopefully that won't be an issue. I noticed today it was kind of hard to focus on my screen during the day. I put in probably 25 drops in my eyes. This morning, I felt like I had a prism effect on my left eye through some windows at the church, and that didn't go away. It kind of stayed there a long time. I did not seem to that I slept very good last night as well, so that's a possibility. But my vision for distance right now, this eye has some like I guess maybe it's just fuzz around some lights. I guess that's the best way to describe it. And my left eye doesn't have any kind of glow or haze at this point in time, but my right eye, I'm even having difficulty in focusing on close things. So I think that this eye is not doesn't have enough drops in it. I need to get it needs to have some more liquid, some fake tears put in, and I probably just need to step it up tomorrow and just keep constantly putting them in. But I will say that my medicine, the steroid droplets, when I put those in now, they only burn for like 2 seconds maybe. In comparison, it was before, it was like for 15 seconds. So I think there is definitely improvement, and I'm eager to see what happens over the next couple days on this journey. So that's the update for day 5. Real quick recap for day 6. Today, all day, I was fighting with dry eyes. As soon as I would put drops in my eyes, I could see perfectly. And then like 5 minutes later, couldn't see anything. It was just like constantly like a glaze over. It was very frustrating. No matter how many times I blinked, everything. I've been staying up on my water or my eye drops, the schedule that I need to do, and it's just rather frustrating. I did text with Dr. Heil, and she said that she gave me a recommendation of using some gel eye drops, and so I tried that tonight, and that seemed to help quite a bit. Right now the vision is the best it's been all day, and it's 10 o'clock at night, so I was kind of really disappointed with my vision today. Now I did do a lot of driving. It's the first time I did about 3 hours of driving today, and I've got about 3 hours of driving to do tomorrow, so kind of hoping that it's a little bit better tomorrow, but we'll figure it out. One way or another, we're gonna just deal with what we get. I mean, at this point in time, I don't have a lot of choice. So that's the update for tonight. Tomorrow will be the 1 week, believe it or not. So today's recap, I drove almost the same exact amount of mileage as I drove yesterday. My eyes were much better today. I didn't have to put nearly as many drops in. My distance was better. I still had some hard time focusing on some signs. I did also sit in one of those wet saunas today, and the moisture of that really helped my eyes a lot. When I got out of that, it felt a lot better. I could see a lot better. I had a meeting, about an hour and a half long meeting today, where I had screens all the way around me. I had my screens, I had paperwork, I was taking some notes, and I actually, not one time during that meeting did I really even think about an issue with my eyes. So that was a good feeling. Now tonight, I was working on my laptop. The room was kind of dark, and I officially had to change my screen resolution, or the size of the fonts on the page from 125% to 150. 150% is the actual recommended resolution on your monitors, but I've always kept it so I had smaller print, and I had to change that because it was just too hard for me to see today. And I actually typed up like a whole long email, and I'm like, I can't even see what some of these words are that I'm misspelling. Like did I put a space in there, or what is that? And then all of a sudden I'm like, I should probably just make the resolution on this a little bit bigger. But so tonight I was struggling with that. I'm seeing my phone much better in different lights. I'm not noticing like this eye is a little bit fuzzier. My brain is definitely starting to fix that, I guess. So that's a good feeling. Now, what it feels like at night, I mean, like, if you've ever wear contacts and your contacts get dry, you kind of just want to take the contacts out so you're done. But it's just that's a hard thing to explain, that because obviously I can't take my contacts out anymore.
And I put drops in my eyes, and it just doesn't solve that problem. So I just kind of like, it's like, okay, it's time for me to go to bed. And because I'm being awake right now probably about 14 hours a day or so, maybe 15. And I think my eyes definitely feel that toward the end of the night. um, I'm noticing one thing I did want to comment on is, like, if I go from left eye, right eye, this is my Pan-optix, my trifocal lens, and it has lots of the rings on it. And if I look at like a little tiny little LED light or something like that on like a bottom of a TV monitor or something like that, I'm noticing about 6 rings, 5 to 6 rings. My left eye, it's just like a star, like kind of like a star formation. So, and prior to that, I didn't have any of that. Now today, when I was driving, also, I was noticing less and less about the vehicles with the lights on them, the rings. So I think my brain is just kind of starting to tune those out. It's definitely a weird feeling and sensation. And I've also noticed that when that gets more into my intermediate vision, there's no rings, no halos, no twinkling, no nothing. It's the way that I always saw it. And I've also noticed that my intermediate vision is perfect, almost completely perfect all the time, which is good because, like, a lot of my monitors at the office are quite a ways away, so it almost fits my vision perfectly. So, and before it was like everything was kind of blurry, so it is definitely improving. So that's the update today. I'm excited to see where the 1 week is tomorrow, and then I have my follow-up appointment with the ophthalmologist on Thursday. So that's the update.
So today is the night of day 7. So it's been a week since I've had my surgery. Today at around 3 p.m., after I put some liquid gel eye drops in my eyes, I looked out across my office window, and for the first time ever, it was amazingly clear. My left eye, my right eye. I did notice this morning when I woke up that my right eye, the PanOptix, it was incredibly clear from the up close, intermediate, and far away was very clear. The left eye, the Vivity lens, the intermediate has been perfectly clear for days, but the far away has been blurry. And if I put drops in, it'll clear right up. And I don't know why that is. Boy, my hair's a mess. Anyway, it was. I don't understand why that is. Why the intermediate is okay and great actually, but yet far away, only when I put drops in, it would get better. But tonight it's 10 o'clock at night, and I've been up now for 14 hours, 15 hours, and for the first, I think my eyes are, I would say about right now, this one's about 98, 99%, 100% of where I am. Maybe a little dry during the day, so that's why I don't know if I'd take it to 100%. But this one is probably about a 96%, which is the highest it's been. So the Vivity lens, for sure, for some reason, has taken longer to recover from than my Vivity. Now, the only thing I'm going to say about my left eye, I am seeing like a prism type thing. If I kind of stare out of my peripheral vision, I'm seeing that, especially like I've got some lights. My office is kind of dirty, but messy, I should say. But I kind of see some like glow off of there. And I'm not seeing that on the PanOptix side anymore, so I kind of think that perhaps that may be healed over and it's all good now. So I don't really know, to be honest, but I feel as if it has progressed and really is starting to get better. And that's the first time that I've experienced that, I think. I don't know. It's so hard to tell, but I will say today at 3 o'clock, I felt great. For the first time ever, I'm like, I can see everything's good. I was like, nothing's like blurry. This is absolutely amazing. And yesterday and the day before, when I was driving, and I was having problems seeing, and that would have been day 5 and 6. I was really regretting my decision massively. I'm like, what the heck did I do for my whole life? I just screwed up royally. And right now, if vision were to not improve, I would be very frustrated. But because it's been getting better and better every day, I'm having faith that it is improving. But I will say that this morning when I woke up and I had to put no contacts or glasses on to see, and I was just able to get right into the shower, and I could see in the shower, that was unreal. That was an amazing experience for me, because since, like, I don't know, 6th grader, I have been blinder than a bat. So I think I think that's pretty awesome that I could see that and see so well. I'm definitely using my phone more, and I have noticed that when it gets really late at night, my eyes are tired, and I have been putting on my readers when I play on my phone super late at night. But when I'm doing that, it's just like my brain is just like, it's done. And I can see my reader, or with my readers, I can see everything perfectly. But anyway, I think that's the update for today. Tomorrow I have my follow-up visit, so I'll be able to give you some information after that and where I am. And I'll be curious to see where my vision is compared to where I was a week ago. So anyway, that's the update. Boy, do I got an update for you today. I am outside because it's absolutely gorgeous outside in front of my new F-150 Lightning, which that's an awesome vehicle. So if you want, you should watch another video about the F-150 Lightning in my YouTube. There's a shameless plug for you. Anyway, so today is day 8. I had my 1 week and 1 day follow-up. They are extremely impressed on how I can see. I can see 2015 now. Last week it was 2020. They're very impressed on how it is. I told them, I said, I'm still having problems with blurriness. If my eyes are not watered and they're just get too dry, and they said that's completely normal. They said if that's a problem after about a month, they said they start to do and look at other solutions and things like that, but they are not worried at all. In fact, right now, I will say, if I'm looking out over the fields, I would say that my vision is about 98 to 99% on up close, looking at my phone, looking at far away, looking at that car that's driving by. I can see it perfectly. It's not just it's darn right now it's the best that it's been. By far it is the best that it's been. They did give me a let's see, it's a moist heat mask from Optbase. I don't know. And it's like a heat mask. You basically just put it in your microwave, and you warm it up, and you put it over your eyes for about 2 to 3 minutes a day, morning or night, it doesn't matter. And they said that kind of activates the oil glands and helps basically create more moisture in your eyes, and it won't create water, which those teardrops are water. It creates oil, which is what your eyes need, and it does it by naturally, just by warming the thing up. So I'm very, very freaking excited about that. I don't think I can tell you how excited I am, because they said, well, if it's a problem, next week, let us know, and we'll work into some other solutions. I said, well, is there a reason that I can't just speed that up and do that now? And they were like, well, no, not really. I said, and they said, you just want to, that was the other thing they said, if you really want to boost it, you want to do this, and then also take the recommended dosage of omega-3 fatty acids that will help with your vision. Then that's why it helps with that vision with dry eyes. It truly
puts those oils into your body, and then your body uses them, and it has extra, so then it makes sure that your eyes are very moist. But I thought that was really cool that they did that. They were very satisfied on how well things went, and I'm right now I am tickled pink, and I feel like I made the right decision. They did dilate my eyes today. I was not planning on that at all, which made my job the rest of the afternoon very difficult, made driving home difficult. I mean, obviously I know where I am, I know where I'm going, so there's no reason that I need to worry about that type of stuff. But I very pleased with how things turned out today, other than the dilation of eyes. They were very pleased with the vision that I'm seeing. It was funny because the one I did meet with the ophthalmologist just for a short bit, the one that did the surgery, Megan Heil. She just popped her head in to say, hey, heard that we have a mutual friend, hope things are going great. And I'm like, yep, hope things are going good for you too. But I met with an optometrist that kind of does a lot of the follow-ups. He told me about the fact that everything is kind of normal, and yeah, I'm kind of had lost the train of thought of what I was saying, so I don't remember anymore. But he was pleased. Oh, I know what it was. This you get everything in these videos, the good, the bad, and the longer story. But he did say, I was asking him, he's like, yeah, I think you're doing great for your age. I think you're doing wonderful. They don't do lots of people with my age. They do most of the people with cataracts and things like that. And that starts when you get up to the upper 60s, 70s, 80s. And so I'm like, he says, it gives me hope for when I do mine. And I'm like, you haven't done this yet? And, he's wearing glasses, so obviously, duh. And I said, why haven't you done it? He's like, well, part of it's just uncertainty, and part of it is the cost. And I'm like, I'm like, are you serious that Bowling Vision doesn't have a employee discount? He's like, well, they kind of do, but I got like 3 kids at home and they're all hungry, and I got bills to pay, and that's just not another thing that I need to take on right now. And I'm like, okay, I get it, because this is not a cheap process. I spent almost $9,000 for this process, and if it works and I don't ever have to do anything the rest of my life, I think I did a quick calculation that it'll pay for itself, and like by the time I'm 55, I think it is, and not having to do contacts and other crap for my eyes, and the 2 or 3 appointments for every optometrist that you have to go to, and well, let's come back and then I can charge you another $150, or let's come back and do this. And I can't stand those types of appointments. It's just like, I'm paying you, the expert, to give me information or to fix my problem. I don't need you to charge me twice to do that. It's like a consult at a dentist. That just drives me freaking nuts. It's like, I'll make the appointment, I'll carve out the time, fix the problem. I understand that time is money, but don't waste my time and my money. That's kind of the way I look at it. Anyway, so I'm very excited about everything right now. I'm excited. That's the best way to say it. Truly, if I have this vision right now that I have, the rest of my life, I would be so happy. Beyond happy. And the only concern that I had was the dryness of the eyes, because I knew I would see really well, because if I put drops in my eyes, I could see perfectly. And so I knew that that was, and then it just reassured it. So exciting stuff. So that is the update for day 8, and I'm going to do probably another maybe another couple days, and then I'll do a 2-week mark, and I'm not going to continue doing every day, because this video will be like 4 hours long. So have a good one. So this is day 9. I realized late last night after I made that video, I never gave any feedback on something else that they noticed when they did my lens check yesterday. They told me that there is possibilities of getting cloudiness behind what they said. When they take out the lens, they kind of leave some kind of film or casing that's left behind, and they don't take that out. Now, they said that sometimes it can get cloudy, and he says that
with people that most people, if it does get cloudy, they don't notice it. But if you do notice it and it's affecting your vision, and if you're like if you think that things are just cloudy or not as crisp as what you think that they should be, then what happens is you go in and they will hook you up to the it's the same machine as the LASIK, and they go in, aim a couple lasers at it, and it clears it right up, and it makes it so there is no the cloudiness just goes away instantly. So I don't know if that's something that I'll have to do or not. I'll know more probably at the 1 month mark. If I notice that things are not very good, or things continue to be really blurry, then I will kind of go from there. I will say that my apprehension is going down by the day, because like I woke up this morning, I can see everything perfectly, and yeah. So hopefully, it continues to improve, and so it's not that big a deal. This morning I forgot my eye drops, so now I'm kind of a little bit behind on my eye drops. Today was the first day that I needed to start taking. Yesterday was the first day I needed to take 3 of the steroid antibiotic drops. Before that, I was taking 4 drops a day. Now I'm only taking 3. So I remembered the steroid drops, but I forgot the tear drops. So I just stopped at home. So I'm probably behind from where I should be, but I can see my monitors pretty good. Today was the first day also that I did anything electronic. Like I have a rug doctor, and I replaced the motor in the rug doctor this morning, and I was able to see everything. There was a couple times that I'm like, that screw hole is not as clear as I wish it would be, and it was about 12 inches away. So that was a little kind of frustrating, I think, because before I could see that just fine. So that's the update for day 9. I'm gonna leave it there. I will say that last night I was very happy with my vision all night last night, and I did try also that eye patch that I bought yesterday. And when I got home, I tried that right away after I made that video. It worked wonders, absolute wonders. So I did it this morning before I went to work, and I think that that's also why I didn't need so many drops right away, because my tears were, being make it. And then I'm going to stop and get some of that omega-3 fatty acid, or whatever it is, fatty oil. I don't know, fish oil, whatever it is. I'm going to stop and get some of that today as well for my eyes, because I think that truly made a difference yesterday as well. So that's the update for day 9. I hope, hope you're enjoying these. So today is day 10, and my vision is by far the best that it has been all day. In fact, it's really hard for me to remember to keep up on the drops that I need to do every day. Because at this point in time, I'm doing the medicated drops 3 times a day, and I'm doing regular eye drops 4 times a day. I've been doing it. That's not an issue, but I will say the number 2 things that will help with your improvement faster would be the omega-3 fatty acids, the fish oil. After I did that and had that mask on for 3 minutes a day, what a difference it's made. It makes it so my eyes I'm not trying to just keep it, blinking a lot so that way I can see. It just, my eyes are making the oil. Now it is 10 days into it, so I get that. But wow, what a difference that has been. And that I really kind of wish that we would be told to do that sooner, and not only if there's a problem, because it would have been very beneficial. So other than that, I can see distance incredibly well with both eyes equally. I did notice that the halos have gone down today. My left eye especially, I'm seeing, like if I look at tiny little LED light, for example, that TV, it has a, over there in that corner, it has a red LED light. And that, before, you can see that red light, I would see that red light in just the rectangle little tiny light. And now
it kind of, if I see it out on my right eye, it's a little bit bigger, and it kind of like a little bit of a halo. If I see it on my left now, it's getting really close to the same size that it has been my whole life. My brain, I've noticed, is with headlights starting to get rid of the halos. I'm trying really hard to not focus on that. The only thing I am going to say today is today I've noticed I've been inside almost all day today because it's been crappy and I live in Indiana and it sucks. It was hailing and snowing and raining and sunny and cloudy and crappy out all day. So we were outside all day. But I've noticed that it's been very difficult for me to focus on my phone. Like if I take my phone further away from me, it's much better. But because the light inside is not as bright as it is outside. So anyway, that's the update for day 10. At this point in time, I'm not sure if I'm going to do a day 11, 12, 13, but I will kind of give you some updates as we go along. All right, today is day 15, and I stopped over at Bowling Vision Center in Goshen. I didn't have an appointment, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, vision perfect. Almost perfect out of both eyes. Had a little bit of issue on Sunday morning with some bright light that was coming in on from the windows. It was kind of making it blurry. But other than that, perfect vision. Monday morning, I kind of woke up and everything was kind of cloudy on my right eye, which is my trifocal lens. And I'm like, well, okay. So I just put some drops in. Didn't help. Nothing is helping. And so I went and talked to... I'm like, well, I told Christy, I said, well, if it still continues to be this way, tomorrow morning, which would be today's Wednesday, so like I went all day yesterday, didn't improve. And I said, well, if it's bad Wednesday morning, I'm just going to go to the doctor first thing in the morning and see what needs to be done. And I just finished meeting with the doctor here, and it's not the lady that did the surgery, but it's the one I've had my follow-ups visits with. And he said that cloudiness that comes up underneath that artificial lens, they said is it's definitely gotten worse, and that is the problem that I'm having. So I am assuming that it is... they said that it's correctable, very easy. They just basically shoot a couple lasers in it, and it's gone. There's no outpatient treatment or, like a delay or anything like that. I don't have to put shields on or anything like that. And it pretty much is almost instant on how fast you can see. So at this point in time, I'm going to wait for Dr. Heil to text me or call me and let me know what I'm going to be looking at and how soon I can get in to get that done, which I'm hoping is sooner than later, because I want to get that done. So because it's affecting, because it's that trifocal lens, it's affecting things that I can see. My left eye, there's only like trace amounts, they said, of that cloudiness or whatever it is that goes on that lens. But on the right eye, it's affecting it worse because of the type of lens that it is, that it makes it like right dead center, right where that focuses, and it's I'm definitely having difficulty. So that is the update. I wish I could explain what I can see and not see out of that eye, but everything is just kind of blurry and cloudy and having problems focusing. So that's the update. So I'll keep posted when I have more information. So I had a phone call late this afternoon from Dr. Howell, and she followed up with it after the other optometrist put a message into her after I went and visited. And she says it's extremely common. My left eye showed a little trace of leftover cells. Apparently it can happen, and my right eye is the one that's primarily being affected, and because of the trifocal, it makes it a little bit more noticeable. But I'm going to try to pronounce it for you. It's called PCO, and it's posterior capsular opacification. So it's basically it's covering that lens, or that the back of that lens. There's a film, and it gets on the back, and so they go in there with what's called a YAG laser,
and they shoot it. Here's the downside, and I don't know what I'm going to do about this, but she said that they don't like to do anything until 6 to 8 weeks after the surgery. They like to make sure that that's good and healed, because if they were to get rid of that capsule area that they use to put the lens in, the lens could fall to the back of the eye, and if it's not healed enough, and she doesn't want to do that, which I completely understand. So the negative thing is I just kind of have to deal with this until it, I guess time goes. It's not terrible. It's not perfect either. If I was getting regular contacts, I would have been very unhappy. My left eye seems to be almost perfect. So it's counteracting for a lot of my right eye weakness. The thing that I'm noticing is when I'm having to read documents, that's becoming a little difficult. So I'll probably have to pick up a couple readers to have at the office, because readers are helping. I still notice that it's a little even cloudy with the readers, but she said it's extremely normal, and she does between 6 and 8 of these a week of those with the YAG lasers. Extremely outpatient. Doesn't hurt. You don't feel anything, and it's almost instant. So that's the update. I was very appreciated that she called, and at this point in time, I'll probably give you a couple more updates as things progress over the next couple weeks, and then we'll kind of go from there. If I wait until after the surgery or not, but that's the update for now. So today is day 21, so that would be 3 weeks since my surgery. I'm going to give you a little update. First things first is you need to know that PCO is real, and it sucks. Unfortunately, 1 in 3 have PCO issues, and that is where those cells are lining that capsule. Anyway, so let me explain. My PanOptix lens apparently makes it worse with the PCO. Hands down. Everything I see at this point in time, regardless of how far away it is, regardless of what I'm seeing out of this eye, there's nothing that is in focus. Absolutely nothing. I can see out of it, but it's kind of like my prescription is not good enough, and every light that I look at, like those ceiling lights, very cloudy, all the way, don't you love that, all the way around the light bulb. It's just very cloudy. It sucks big time. Now my left eye, I am starting to see in the top left corner some like reflections coming through. It is not as clear as it was. That said, I can see out of this eye, it's like 90, maybe 93, 95% of what it was, and which is really frustrating, because like the last weekend, or whatever it was great. I could see out of both eyes, could see everything. Now it's not. I can still see my phone pretty decent. I can see the numbers on it. I can see, the buttons, things like that. So I'm able to see it. It's just foggy. That's the biggest thing. It's the detail is not there. It's not super crisp. So that's the update for day 21. Unfortunately, from what I was told, is I have to wait 6 to 8 weeks. So at bare minimum, I have 3 more weeks to wait, which sucks a lot. I do have a follow-up appointment here in, I think it's about 10 days or so. And when I get that, then they will decide what they're going to do. They'll see if it's healed up enough, if they want to take the risk, if do it sooner. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want to take any kind of risk at all. But at the same point in time, I can tolerate it. I just don't know if I want to tolerate this forever, because it's definitely causing me to be able to not see some things. I'm asking other people to read things. I'm like, hey, can you read this? Can you read this? Can you read this? So you need to know
that going into this, it is a strong possibility that you too also might develop the PCO. Now, from everything I've read, is that a lot of people that get the PCO afterwards, they don't even notice they have the PCO afterwards because they're so grateful to be able to see with having cataracts where it was like all foggy all the time. So now that they can see some, they're like, this is the greatest thing in the world. But in reality it's definitely not the greatest thing in the world. There is better. You can have better, and you need to make sure that you know that PCO with the YAG laser is definitely treatable. So I am excited to see that process. I have watched enough videos on how that YAG laser works. I don't know exactly know how Bowling Vision does it, so I guess I get to find that out here in a couple weeks. So that's the update for day 21.
So today is day 28, and the reason I know that is because I've got a nice little checkbox for all of the different days and how many times I have to put the medicated drops in versus the regular eye drops, the tear drops. So I'll give you an update. I can see okay. My right eye, everything's blurry. I mean, not everything is, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, it's kind of like as what was crisp before, everything, nothing's crisp. Absolutely nothing's crisp in that right eye. My left eye, it's sort of okay. It's probably 85% of what it was normally. So obviously I have to wait. I'm still, I've got to wait. Boy, at this point in time, I'm like almost a month, and they want to do 6 to 8 weeks before. So my follow-up visit's coming up right after May, right after the middle of the month, my follow-up visit, and at that point in time they'll schedule something, but it'll be like right around June. So we'll see what day that will be because I don't really know, but we'll take it day by day and we'll kind of go from there. So, but I can drive okay. I can perform duties. I noticed that lots of times if I'm trying to read something and it's not bright enough, I can't read it. I am able to use my phone pretty frequently. My brain is just it's fixing things. It's filling in information that really isn't there. It's pretty amazing how that works. But it is what it is. So that's the update for day 28. And thankfully it's the last time I have to put any drops in, which is wonderful. I'll still probably carry around the teardrops. Just kind of help that a little bit. And I'm still taking the fish oil. That does seem to help. And realistically, that should have been, somebody should have told me to do that a long time ago. So that's the update for today. Today, day 37, I had my basically 1 month follow-up. Even though it's 37 days out, they consider it their 1 month follow-up. I think it's just based upon how the weeks go and scheduling and all of that stuff. But regardless, I am in, they say trace PCO in this, and then a full one on this side. The ophthalmologist scheduled my surgery for, it's not a surgery, it's a procedure with the YAG laser on June 1st. So 2 weeks from today, I will go through and have that done, which is pretty simple, but I'm a little nervous about it because I heard that there's floaties. When I talked to the optometrist today, he said that people have it, 90% of people have it, but it only lasts a short time. They said that basically all of the stuff settles in the bottom of the eyeball, and it pretty much stays there forever. So he says my left eye, he said I probably won't even notice it because it'll be so small because it's just trace. But my right eye, he said I'll probably notice it more because of the lens type, the trifocal lens type. And then what am I seeing now? I guess my left eye, I can still see distance pretty good, but my left eye is giving me a glare. Anytime that I look at any light from this side, I get a glare that kind of goes across my whole eye. But so like if at night I have a bedstand light, then I just kind of turn off because it's just too much of a glare.
I'm still seeing like a halo around most lights. My brain is starting to get rid of a lot of halos while I'm driving at night. I've noticed that. I specifically been trying to not notice headlights. Try to teach my brain to not look at it. So that's the update for today. I probably will not have another update until probably 2 weeks from now. It depends on how things are going, but because things really haven't changed a whole heck of a lot, other than my left eye is getting worse, my right eye is about the same. So that's the update for today. Today, day 50 is it's kind of unreal to say that it's day 50. Tomorrow I have the YAG procedure with the laser. I'm pretty darn excited. The right eye has continued to, it really hasn't changed much. I can't see much. My left eye has continued to degrade. It's to the point now where I can't see a speed limit sign or what is on the speed limit sign until I'm probably about 40 feet away from it, and then I can see it pretty clear. I would imagine I am definitely used to seeing 2010, and when I was seeing 2020 and 2015 the last time, it's not as great as I'd hoped. But so tomorrow is the day. The only thing I'm nervous about is floaters. He did say that, like I've mentioned before, this eye, I probably won't even notice it. This eye, I will probably notice it a lot more, at least for a couple weeks. Now, this eye, I'm going to make sure that I'm noticing glares on this side of my lens, more so than I see on this. I don't see any glares at all. But this one, man, if I've got a light over here, it just glares the whole thing. So I imagine that side is pretty bad. So we'll find out tomorrow. I'm going to hopefully get some video of the process and edit that in. But that's the update. And there's my dog. Today's the day. Going into bowling vision. Yippee skippy. It's a laser X3000LX. That is the machine.
The red laser's off. Oh yeah. Get that out of here.
Ooh, that's bright.
Yeah. Right there and hold. Good. I'm just gonna find the plane here.
It's about hour 8 since I've had that laser treatment. I will say that my vision has increased significantly. My eyes are a little tired. Not, I guess it kind of feels like I did a lot of reading today, or kind of got a little bit of a pressure headache. I'm not sure if you've ever experienced things like that. I am noticing that my eyes are puffy. Slightly dehydrated. I can tell when my wristwatch goes back and forth. So that might be some of it too. But my right eye, the trifocal eye, the Pan-optix lens, I can tell that there is lots of stars that I didn't see before. And my left eye seems to be pretty clear. I can see up close pretty good out of this left eye. I can see like almost crystal clear using this eye with my phone, about 13 inches away or so, and my right eye is pretty little. It's not as fuzzy. It's by far, it's a lot better. So it's going to be getting used to seeing again. It's kind of like my eyes are like relearning how to see all over again. And in fact, it was also interesting, if you remember, if you watched this video a while ago, like when I first had my lenses put in, it kind of felt like there was a little bit of jitteriness. And today I experienced that several times with jitteriness. My eyes are a little dry, and I've used drops a few times to kind of get that gel out. And I think that's what's in my right eye, mostly, is that gel. But I can tell that I'm going to be nearing the end of this video, which is exciting. For one, I'm almost out of room on my phone to edit this video because it's like an hour and a half long. And two, yeah, I'm ready to just be done making this video. So hopefully you find that funny. If not, yeah, sorry, don't know what else to say. But that's the update. I'm going to try to give you an update tomorrow or the next day, let you know what I'm seeing, what I'm not seeing. Tonight at the restaurant, I will say my right eye was extremely, lots of stars, lots and lots of stars. But it's interesting, the longer I've been looking at these lights just now up on my ceiling, not sure if you can see them. The longer I've been looking at those lights, if I focus on it, there's not the little stripes and stars. So it might just be because I've got crap on my eyeball still. But floaters, that's the other thing I forgot to mention is floaters. I saw like two, one out of my left eye and one out of my right eye. And when I say it was minute, it was extremely minute. She did say when she was doing my right eye, she kept saying, oh, wow, this is much thicker than I anticipated. Oh, wow, very much so. She also did spend probably an extra minute per eye and getting all miscellaneous ones that were kind of floating by that were big, and she focused on getting those cleared up. So that way that was not an issue. And my right eye, she had to increase the power because some of it was a little bit thicker, I guess, per se. But they included this as part of my all-encompassing lens. They said that lots of times they do not. So that was nice that they did. And I kind of briefly remember when they said that if there's an issue right away that they'll take care of that free of charge. But that was, geez Louise, that was like 6 months ago. I remember that conversation. But that was good. I do have a follow-up appointment in like 3 weeks or something like that. They like to do a week or 2 weeks, but it wasn't going to work for me. So that's kind of why we pushed it out the days that they could. This is irrelevant information in the video, but anyway, hopefully you're finding this helpful and yeah, to the point. So see ya.
It is beautiful outside tonight, and in Indiana you don't get that very often, but it's like 80 degrees and it's just, there's no wind, there's no mosquitoes right now. It's just feels great. But today is day 53. Give you a real quick update because I forgot to do it when it was daylight outside. My left eye, much better, I would say. That is gone. That's improved. I'm back up to like 98% capacity, I think, and it's just a little blurry. My right eye, my Pan-optix lens, there was more goop, I think, on that lens, and on my eye when she put that suction cup thing on there, than what my left eye was. And I'm noticing every day it's gotten a little bit better. It's not as it's clear. I keep using more and more eye drops. Tomorrow I'm going to keep downsing myself with eye drops. And so that way I can kind of really make sure that I get all that goop out and I can feel a lot better. At night tonight, I noticed that if I had these like patio lights, if I look at it with my left eye, there's just kind of little haze around it. There's some big stripes. In my right eye, it's a lot more glazy. I guess glazy is not even a good word. A lot more lights and halos and things like that. So I'm hopeful that tomorrow will improve even more, but that's the update for tonight.
Day 57. What have I noticed so far? My left eye, my Vivity lens, perfect. I don't see any real issue with it. There's sometimes a small glare when I'm looking out from my left eye. If I've got like a lamp on back here, there's sometimes a small glare, but not nearly as bad as what it was when that PCO developed, or whatever it is, that protein on that capsular, whatever it is. And my PanOptix lens, it has not gotten a lot better since the surgery. I will say that it is 50% better. Definitely 50% better. But there's still a lot of like haze over it. I did text with Dr. Heil, and she said that nothing seemed like red flags. and she said that they would evaluate at the follow-up appointment. And I'm like, okay, all right. She didn't seem like it was bad. I talked to her about the issue, and whether or not it was common, and she just said continue using drops, and I've been using lots of drops. It has gotten a little bit better, but it's very frustrating how long this lens is taking to get better. But I guess that is what I've got. I mean, I don't really have a choice right now. It kind of feels like there's something on my lens, or my eyeball lens, I guess I should say. I don't think it's inside, but that's the update. So anyway, hope you have a wonderful day.
Day 59, my Vivity lens, perfect. My Pan-optix lens has improved slightly, not great, but I would say it's about 70% now. And I am still putting lots of drops in. I have read different things that could potentially go wrong after the YAG laser, and everything that I come to the conclusion of is some words that I can't even say. Basically it was like you have to use a steroid to kind of like calm down the eyeball itself. I don't know. It sounds like it's just a little inflamed, so I don't know. But that can cause blurriness, and that's kind of what I'm having issues with now. So that's the update for today.
Day 63, I just finished up with Dr. Megan Heil, and we went through. There was 0 prescription change, so I am basically at the exact same as what I was prior to the surgery. She says sometimes that if you need to adjust one or the other, they can do that with LASIK afterwards. But right now, they don't see that as an issue. We went through and looked at both eyes. There was some inflammation in both eyes, just a tiny little bit, but it was equal. And so she couldn't really offer any explanation other than to give me some steroid drops on my right eye, my Pan-optix line, just to kind of reduce that inflammation a little bit. She said that if anything, she says just time will help the brain compensate for anything that might be different. She says it is a lot different between the Vivity and the PanOptix, what you can see, what you can't see. And she suggested really just having, time on our side to kind of let things go. So I have a 3-month post follow-up for that's in September. But right now, my left eye, nothing but praise for. My right eye, I can definitely read with it, no problem. As I told her, I said it just feels just on a little bit of cloudiness side. And she said that we did a lot to the eyes, and it's like 40 years of reprogramming. And she says sometimes it just takes a little bit longer for that to do that. So I'm still noticing glares on this right eye, more so than my left. And she thinks that it just might be really dry too. And she suggested continuing with eye drops. So that's the update for right now. And we're probably going to give another update or two, and then we're going to wrap this video up.
My final video in this series. Will I have a year video out? Who knows? But if I do, it'll be in the comments below and the description. So if it's been a year, this is June 16th of 2023 right now. And it's day 66. It has been a journey, and something that you need to know, that it's just not everyone is going to have the same experience. Not everyone is going to have the same doctor, the same type of lenses, the type of anything. So here's my words of wisdom from going through this experience. First of all, I've been asked many times, would I do this again? And yes, 150,000% on my left eye. My right eye,
Come to find out, it's primarily just dry eye, and it's mostly in this eye. If I get it lubricated enough, if I get enough tears in there, I can see just fine out of this eye, and that's definitely the reason. And she believes that it'll be like a month or two, maybe before that clears up and my body has kind of gotten used to it. So yeah, the halos at night, they don't bother me, but this is something that you guys need to know going into this. If you're having cataract surgery, you need to think strongly about getting upgraded lenses. I cannot stress to you, don't go cheap. Just don't go cheap. Save up some money. Go with premium lenses. You will not regret it. These are your eyes. This is something you see every day. They're already going to be in there taking out your lens. Why not put a nice lens in there? Second thing, don't put a trifocal lens in your dominant eye. Just don't do it. It's not a good idea. Everything that I've researched, there's a lot of people that blend, and I'm happy, very happy with the distance vision that I can see with the with the up close. I will say that the difference is now my vision before I could see about this far away from my face or so, and now it's about this far away. If I get it any closer than that, it's kind of blurry and not something that is fun. But I can read my phone just fine. I have my phone usually around the 10-inch mark or so away from my face. No problem at all. My left eye, it's kind of definitely out of focus, but my right eye, spot on. And but when I have both eyes going together, my brain just fixes it, and it's pretty darn bright and clear. So that's great. So like I said, if you're having cataract surgery, don't go cheap on your lenses. I've heard people just absolutely breaking down in tears after their surgery because they went cheap on their lenses, and just don't do it. It's just not worth it. If you're looking at getting premium lens replacement done for the process of just, I guess, getting rid of the contacts, not having to wear glasses anymore, all of that type of stuff, it's well worth it. It is extremely expensive to do, but I'll never have to do anything with my contacts ever again. I have glasses at home that I'm not like, man, I don't want to get rid of these, but at the same point in time, I will never be able to use them again. So there is that. So that's a good feeling, that every morning I wake up, I can see just fine. And it's kind of weird because I'm kind of used to the idea of I've been getting up for the last 35 years, not being able to see anything. And now that I can, it's amazing. So I have nothing but praise for Bowling Vision Center. I have nothing but praise for Dr. Megan Heil. She did a phenomenal job. And do your research. That is one thing I will also say is do your research. Know everything going into it. If you watch this video, you know my experiences. You know what I went through. Having a YAG laser, all of that. The second cataracts, the blurry vision, the jittery vision. Just do your research. And I really hope that this video did something and helped you, maybe made you feel more secure, more comforting in this process, because it is a process. It is your eyes. And I guess I'm going to leave you with one final thing. You will never ever have the vision of a newborn again. It's just one of those things that your eyes are perfect practically when you come out of the womb, and it just degrades from there on out. So don't go into it thinking that your vision is going to be spectacular. Now, that's it. If you're having cataract surgery, you know that you can't see anything. And so when you get these lenses, you're really like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And it is. I can only imagine, because I know what it was like with that second cataracts type feeling. And yeah, that I hated that because I got frustrated. I couldn't see anything, and I'm like, this sucks. But anyway, so I hope that you had an enjoyable experience with me watching this video. Please leave me some comments. I would be happy to answer you if I can. I try very hard to answer everybody that leaves a comment. I wish that God blesses your life,
and that provides you meaning while you're on this earth. And thank you so much for allowing me to take you on this journey. So, peace out.